Hey guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we're back with the MAULER team. We finally waited for patch 1.40 to drop, which brought us Anoki, and it brought us the rework to Khasos, which we've been just waiting for. As you can see here, his ultimate ability is now spinning obliteration, which differs from his regular obliteration, where he would run off and usually die by himself, which was very, very frustrating for a lot of people. And we do have Anoki, who is actually out right now, so we're hoping we can actually pull a couple copies of him would be ideal. That way we could test him out and we could use him. Our regular team here consists of Sophia and Verk. We have Scrag, we have Warwick, which I'm hoping to replace Warwick with Anoki when we get a couple copies. And then we are running Nemitsu or Khasos depending on the team comp. Seems like Nemitsu is doing a lot better through the campaign than Khasos. The life leech ability really not doing as much as I thought it would. But let's go ahead and get into our summons. So here we have our stones, which we have 3 summons here, and a copy of Khasos. So very good as we continue to add stars to him. And we do have, look at that, 35 rare stones. So we're going to have a lot of food with 35 rare stones there. So let's go ahead and we'll get into our summons. Which again, kind of hoping that I can pull a couple copies of him. Check out the wish list really quick, which I did drop him off in. I took Titus out and I put Anoki in. So we do have a significant amount of summons, as you can see here. We'll start with our companion summons, which we do have 2 full summons here. Good quality of rare heroes there. 55 regular summons. We have 20 rare summons, 20,000 gems. Plus we do have some Stargazer summons. All right, so 55 here. Let's see if we can unlock him. If we can get at least a couple copies, because we do have the fodder cards to go ahead and get him up a little higher, which there's our first elite. It's a copy of Nara. Definitely a super solid Graveborn hero. And we do have a card on the table as well. So Nara goes to Elite Plus here, as well as another Elite Savius. And I'm hoping we at least see him another Elite card, which is a copy of Rowan. Definitely take a copy of Rowan. Strongest support in the game for the Light Bearers and non-celestial Hypogean hero. Another Elite. Seems like we're just getting him single right now, which is a copy of Scrath. Scrath we've considered building as well. A copy of Iran. Not looking too lucky right now. There we have Iran and Rowan up. Got 3 more summons here as we continue to try to pull a copy of him. Maybe this is it. A copy of Torn. That's our second copy of Torn already, so we can actually get him up to Elite Plus at this point. I'm not sure we're going to pull any copies of Anoki. We've got 2 more chances, but we do have 2 cards on the table. Let's go ahead and see if we have any Barrack Stones here, which we do have 1. Copy of Verk. So we're continuing to add more stars to these heroes as we're going to continue to 5-star them. Copy of Entendre, and our very last card. You can hear just a lot more fodder. All right, so this is the one. Copy of Khasos, another copy of Khasos. We have 2 more summons here, which will go ahead and pull another Elite. Hopefully we can unlock him. There he is. We got him. Anoki, we just need 1 more copy so we can actually be able to use him in this team comp, which we have 1 more pull. We need 1 more copy. And nothing. So he's going to have to stay where he's at right now, unfortunately. Did get a ton of emblems out of there. We'll go ahead and continue the stargazing for Taline. Hopefully we can pull just one more copy of her here. Nothing again. All right, so that'll conclude it for the summons. Let's get into the heroes themselves. So looking at the hero themselves, we have Sophia here, who is very, very good on gear. We have all T1, we have her plus 30 signature item. Scrag, which is plus 20, where we're keeping him right now. We have Verk, which is at plus 30, very, very powerful as well. Warwick is at plus 20. Nemitsu is at plus 10, which we might take him a little bit higher, just for the fact we're seeing a lot of play out of the campaign with him. But the big one is Khasos that I do want to try out. As you can see here, we've been blessed with all Lightbearer gear, unfortunately for him at this time. So what I'm thinking, though, is swapping him out for Nemitsu, or even swapping him out for Warwick, to go ahead and give us a combination to see not only how well he tanks, because he is a warrior, Warwick's a warrior, but also how well he's going to perform with the life leech, or how well he's going to perform with Nemitsu. So overall for here, strengthening gear, we just have Nemitsu, which again, we'll keep him at the plus 10 right now. Strengthening gear, we do have Nemitsu, which I believe we have a couple more T1 stones at this point, which we do have 2 of them. So since he is the only caster, we'll go ahead and strengthen up his gear, making him very, very powerful. Boots, I don't believe we have any other ones. We have a pair of Wilder boots, so we can actually swap those out. We'll add a couple stars. We'll try to get his gear up a little bit, at least to 3 stars. I think the rest of everybody else is pretty good for the gear. We're starting to see a lot of gear that is maxed. Don't have a T1 stone for him as of yet. Same with Verk, just going to need to try to get some more gear, try to get a couple more T1 stones as we continue our progression. And the same with Khasos. The reason I focused on getting Khasos' gear up to 5 stars is simply because of the Lightbearers. So we know we have Lucius on the Lightbearer team, so we're going to swap gear between him. Plus we have Gwen that wears the same plate gear. So let's go ahead and look at our Temple of Ascension. So here we can actually add a star to Rowan, which we got a couple copies of him. And then looking at the rest of the team, we still do need more copies of Lucius, more copies of Belinda to get them up, as well as Hendrik with the Gwyneth combo, or running Rose. So Lightbearer team, we're going to sit tight. MAULER team is where we can add a star to Khasos. So very, very cool to see another star to him, increasing his stats up a little bit. And I think at this point, we're going to go with Skarath instead of Titus, is what I'm thinking. Because we do have Warwick, we do have Khasos, and we do have Verk. So adding Titus in as another agility hero to go with Verk, or we can do another caster since we have Nemitsu and we have Sophia at this point as our 2 casters in here. But I'm thinking, because we do have gear, it's a tough choice because I would love to see Titus built and I would love to see Skarath built. But I know Skarath does have a grouping, but you know what? Just because I like Skarath, I like the big chicken, I think he'll do pretty good. But it's still so tough because I know Titus does provide the CC as well as some of the damage, especially in the tower. But I know with the new hero, with the knockback, I think it's going to be ideal. So we're going to go with Skarath at this point. Making the call, we're going Skarath. So we'll go ahead and build him to Legendary Plus. And then hopefully we can pull a couple more copies. As you can see here, Cetrina, we're not building right now, even though I'm going to save the copies. So if we do want to use him, and wish I would have pulled one more copy of him, that way we could go ahead and build him. The Wilder, just the same, still looking for some more copies of Saurus here, as well as, looks like we finally got our double copies of Nara. Nara we've been really, really lucky with on a lot of accounts. We do have some copies of Torn in there, as well as some fodder. So we could get up another hero, but right now I'm just going to kind of sit tight. We do have 2 Ascended heroes on this account. We have 2 at Legendary Plus. To see who our 5th hero, because we don't have any tanks. Nara is really good damage, but not tanking. Same with Kelthar. So we might have to go with Torn, depending if we get copies, as well as Grez or Thorin at this point. The Celestials and the Hypogens, we don't have any to get up right now. So the Resonating Crystal we can focus on too. 242 is where we're at. I think we're going to add a significant amount of levels here. So 242, 243, there's 244, 245. As we continue, we still got a lot of essence at this point. So hopefully we can push them up to about 260. I'm not sure if we're going to run out of experience, gold, or essence first. Or excuse me, 250, if we can push them up to 250 to go ahead and add a lot of damage here. We might be able to push them even further. So 250. 251, I think we got one more. I don't think we can take them to 252. We're going to be short on essence. Yep, little short on essence there, but there we go. Level 251 from 242. So gaining 9 levels there. Very, very powerful. A little bit of essence. We need about 1,700 more. We can go ahead and get them to 252. So at this point, they are truly ready for the campaign stages. So let's go ahead and get into the campaign here. We're on 24-3. So I'm super excited for the push. Let's go ahead and check out Khasos with his new ultimate ability, which would be very, very cool. As you can see there, he still does have his throwing axes. Warwick in the bottom still gets absolutely demolished. So hopefully we can see it, which that time we did not get to. Khasos died a little bit too quick. But let's go ahead and look at the damage here. Overall, 2.1 million damage, which is quite a bit more than he usually does. A lot of times when I use him, again, he dies super, super fast, even with the life leech ability. Hoping in this one we can get some throwing axes, which there's 1, 2 of his throwing axes. And again, just gets absolutely overrun. The MAULER team is getting destroyed, as you can see. So that's our first defeat, 24-4. Again, with the two main tanks, Greg seems like he has the survivability. Warwick seems like he just gets absolutely decimated by pretty much everyone. Let's check out the damage on this one. We did get one ult off, 4.88 million damage. Wow, 2 million Sophia, 2.5 from Verk, but 4.8, almost 5 million damage. So I noticed with his ult, it is going to be a significant amount of RNG on how the heroes are stacked together. If you have all the heroes stacked together, it's going to do a absolute monster amount of damage, because throwing 5 blades, the 5 blades are going to hit multiple targets, even though it is reduced damage. And there's his ult once more. 3 of the blades went top, 2 of the blades went bottom. Even though he died, we'll go ahead and check out the damage on this one. Very, very cool with his ult. Almost 2 million damage there. So again, Sophia and Verk both eclipsing his damage. But he is doing significantly more damage, which makes a very, very big difference. So his ult not only increases his survivability because he's not running right to the back row where he usually always died, but it just seems like the life leech, even there's one throwing axe there and a second throwing axe, which actually went the wrong way. And there's his ult. They were stacked up pretty nicely in that. I believe he hit 3 heroes on that point. So we'll go ahead and check out the damage on that one. Again, 3.1 million damage. So he is going to do a lot of damage if you get the RNG of the heroes to go through. So we had 5 axes. We had 2 heroes stacked together, 1 alone. And the axes just actually ran right through the whole group of heroes. So it seems like with this team comp, if you could go ahead and get a tank other than Warwick that is going to be able to hold the line, and that's where I think Anoki is really going to come in as being able to hold the line. Even here, 1.8, 2.5 million from Verk as we continue to push the campaign into 24-8, another boss stage here. Let's go ahead and swap Khasos in. We'll try him in the tanking role, which Shamira and Thane just completely decimated him there in the role. But we'll see with Verk's ult, we can usually get this still down, which we do. As long as Screg is up, we're usually solid in the tanking role, even though Warwick goes down pretty easy. 3 million there, 3.6 and 3.7, which is awesome. 2 main damage, DPS is what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and see how he does against Thorin, which again, he got the taint ability on him. He did get a throwing axe off there. And there's his shield, which is from Nemitsu. And again, the Life of Leech ability just needs a little bit of a rework or a little bit of a buff. As you can see there, his Life Leech is healing for about 50k. So even looking here, he didn't do much damage. Look at that, 924 and then 880k in healing, which some of it comes from Nemitsu, I believe, with the totems, but some of it does come from his Life Leech ability. So there's throwing axes once, there's throwing axes twice, then he got knocked over. There is his ultimate, which hit quite a few targets on the top, as well as took a Destrilda on the bottom. Combination of him and Verk took them out. So this should be some pretty good damage from Khasos, because we did get him to ult, which here, look at that, 4.36. So even in the tanking position, it seems like he is going to do a lot of damage if you can get his ult off. So I could see a lot of solid builds. There, I think he died without doing anything. It looks like he was stunned from the dwarf. But I could see in this build him doing, again, a ton of damage if you can get him to ult and if you can get him in a lineup where he's going to ult multiple times. Sophia, 5 million damage there, so absolutely carried it. As we continue into our next boss stage, 24-12, Verk still doing a ton of damage with his little AoE bomb, as well as his arrows to increase his ult, just runs through everybody. Look at that SI-30 ult from him, as well as Khasos just did his ult. And it seems like also it makes a big difference on his positioning, because you have to think of where overall where the axes are going to fly. So kind of the trajectory of how the axes are going to fly to do more damage there. So 2 million. Verk did 4.3, so absolutely dominating as we continue into 24-13. Again, using Khasos up front, there's the throwing axes. And again, the Life Leech ability, if you watch him specifically, heals for 20k, heals for 50k. The enemies are doing 300,000 damage, as you've seen on some of those crits, even here 3.1. So watch Khasos specifically when you get a chance to see him. With his normal attacks here, there's a 10k, 37k, 8,000, and the enemy's hitting him for 200, 250, 300,000 when he's healing for 8k, 12k, 10k. Again, the Life Leech ability, especially as you're getting further in the campaign, it can't stay up with the damage by any means, which means the Maulers fall behind very, very hard. Even here, we got the win, but because of her 3.7 million. So Lilith, if you're watching the Mauler videos, the Life Leech ability definitely needs some help. I'm not sure if they can make it a different kind of heal, if they can make it kind of a heal over time, but something definitely needs to be reworked, because between Nemitsu being the support, I know the new hero is a little bit of a support with the aura and the shields, but we do need something here to go ahead and help out the Mauler class. And I believe Life Leech might be the key, even if you upped it just a little bit. Because even with the Mauler class, Khasos has a higher Life Leech when Maulers are specifically there. And they do quite a bit of damage, but again, the survivability is not there, especially with Warwick. Where he's at, I figured he would survive quite a bit more, but he doesn't. He still gets absolutely decimated. 6 million damage there from Sophia. And I really can't wait to see the new hero. I think it's going to be pretty cool. We'll go ahead and we'll swap Warwick in at this point. This is a pretty tough stage. Again, if we can get some of the damage off and some of the throwing axes and Khasos' ult would be very, very nice. Which, of course, we got an immunity shield, so it didn't do any damage. Brutus was fully immune at that point. Still did 3 million damage to win that campaign stage. Bring us to 24-18. So we're cruising right through Chapter 24 like we have with some of the other teams. And again, Screg just absolutely diesels straight over everybody. And then Verk's ult with his 5 bolts, as you can see. We might be able to get this down. Oh, it's going to be real close. We got another ult. We got it. Look at that. Verk getting it done. He does a train load of damage. 8.2 million. And I know a truckload, and I know a load, and I know a lot, but anytime you're breaking 5 million is a lot of damage. There's Khasos with the double, triple throwing axes and the alt. So this one, he should have done quite a bit of damage on this one. I believe Sophia's going to come with the finishing off the last hero. He's about to get double alted there. 24-20, so we're 1/3 of the way through chapter 24 at this point. Still sticking with Khasos in this one. And I thought maybe the Khasos Nemitsu combination with kind of the double support life leech would help. Didn't seem to help that much. Even there we got the stage done, but it was kind of messy because the tanks always have a tendency to die, which 6.45 million there from Sophia, just absolutely carrying the team with her Scatterbolt and the Falling Sun ability. And there's our promo pack there. So 24-21. Again, we have Sylvana that's going to be coming over on Nemitsu at this point. Hopefully Nemitsu can stay alive, which I'm hoping just because of Sophia's static field, which he does there. So we get an alt. As you've seen a lot of times with Nemitsu is they target his totems. That's the problem with Nemitsu. Even their 5.5 million, they always target his totems. So not only his defensive totem, but his rejuvenating totem as well. They always go straight for the totem. Even if you look right there in the middle, the totem dies first, which kind of nullifies a lot of what Nemitsu can do because the totems can't stay up. Just like Solus with the Floral Spectre with the Wilders, have to try to keep them up or it really nullifies a lot of their ability. 8.6 and Khasos was absolutely 0, got dominated from the beginning. So let's go ahead and try Sophia up top tanking just because she's 5 stars. She's very, very powerful. So even up front gives the back line the ability. As you can see, her Scatterbolts are just doing a ton of damage waiting for Verk to ult. So very easy stage to take down, even with Sophia tanking there. So even here, 4 million from Verk. And Khasos doing quite a bit of damage sitting in the back line. Another boss stage, 24-24. And again, Sylvana's going to go right to Nemitsu in the back. Verk got a banish right in the bottom if you didn't see that one. And then Sylvana, again, can't keep anyone down, but Khasos' throwing axes went straight to the top. To the 2 heroes that were up there to win the next boss stage. So we are just cruising right through the chapter. So we are going to go ahead and I want to try out Anoki at this point, which even though he's level 1, we'll go ahead and throw some stuff on him. We'll drop him in the Resonating Crystal really quick. And I just want to try him. I know he's only elite, so he is going to get absolutely destroyed in the campaign. But maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe he'll be a little bit strong like Mizoth. Or maybe we'll go ahead and be able to see his ultimate ability, which would be kind of cool. At level 251, he is significantly weaker just being at an elite status, but we'll go ahead and swap him in, see if he can hold his own, which look at the shield that he just threw up. He shields everybody, which is very, very powerful. I could see him, especially with his signature item, just absolutely dominating when it comes to the Wilder team and his ability, his skill set, which here we just have Lucius that's non-stop shielding. As you can see, physically immune. It looks like Lucius is even healing faster than we can kill him. Another shield. We might run out of time on this one. Hopefully we can get Verk's little poison bomb on him. There we go. We got it on him before he shielded. But he did shield. Come on, guys. You got to get it done. And again, he healed. Oh, we got him. 7 seconds left. Wow, that was so close. 5 million there from Verk. Just focusing on Lucius with the shield. Again, Anoki's in on this one. We'll swap him to the bottom. That way he can fight Lucius. There's his shield. Look at the aura. Absolutely huge, huge aura there. And hopefully we can see his ult, which he died right before we got the ult off. All right, let's go ahead and try that again.
And look at the shields right across the board. The amount that he can shield is going to be super, super powerful when you get him built. Look at the aura. Look at the shield. There's his stomp. And I'm hoping we can get him to ult, which I think we'll be able to this time. Just got knocked down. There's his ult. Got the horn to take out Belinda with the ult. Very, very cool. But look at the amount of shielding. Absolutely crazy. He is going to be very, very powerful if you can build him up. Anoki, very, very cool hero. Great addition to the team here. All right, let's go ahead and swap it so we can continue our campaign progression. 24-27. Very tough stage at this one when you have Thane and Golas. Same with Movis. Movis does an AoE that just does an absolute monster amount of damage, which is why it is so tough, especially this team comp, because we don't have anything to counter with him because the team really lacks CC. They come out with brute strength, but overall with the CC, which that one was very, very close. Usually when Verk ults, we can get a couple heroes down. But like I was saying, with them lacking CC like we do, is where I really think Anoki's really going to shine, is bringing the CC, bringing the shields, bringing the aura, and bringing the overall survivability to this team. Because right now, let's swap out Nemitsu here. We'll try with Khasos again. And I'm hoping that the life leech ability, again, will help a little bit. But look at Warwick. It's pretty much 1, 2, 3 shots, and he is down. Same with Verk. Thane just killed Verk there, as well as Sophia went down. All right, let's give this a couple more tries. Again, we got some throwing axes there from Khasos, but the tanks cannot handle the damage that's coming from Thane and Movis. They're just getting absolutely destroyed. All right, let's try to switch out the tanks. We'll actually do Screg in the bottom. Again, trying to get some damage on Thane, but all of our DPS just died. Even Khasos died, Screg died. All right, so that'll conclude it for our push. We actually pushed to 24-27, so we went through, I believe that was 23 stages there. So a huge, huge Mauler push. We unlocked Anoki, which is very cool. Checked out Khasos' new ability, which was awesome to see. Very, very stoked. I cannot wait to build Anoki. He is going to be the focus as long as we can pull some more Maulers out of here. Super, super strong addition to the team. I can see where he is really going to excel with his shields, his survivability, the aura that he brings. Very cool to see, which I did pick him up here in the labyrinth. As you can see, I do have a 3-star Anoki here. He was in the very, very first one that I picked up. I know this is only the first floor, but if you look at his survivability, very, very cool. He doesn't take very much damage. He has multiple stuns, multiple CCs, the aura plus the shield. Very, very strong overall. And he does a little bit of damage. I mean, 400k there. So we'll go through, we'll use him on this first floor here, and then we will conclude it for the Mauler video tonight. Again, here we are fighting some Wilders and some Light Bearers. There is his Stampede coming through. Just like Cirrus, every single hero is pushed right to the very, very back line, as you've seen there. Super, super powerful because not only are they pushed back, but they do have the stun, and then he has a stomp that stuns as well, just to increase the CC aspect of him. And look how big the shield is, and look at the aura. The aura is just gigantic on the ground, which is kind of crazy. Crazy, crazy big aura. It even looks bigger than Oscar's aura, and I thought that was pretty big. But he does have a very large aura, and he is shielding the entire team, which again is going to make the survivability for the team very, very high. I could see where even having some more damage, there's the Stampede pushing everyone right to the back. But swapping out Nemitsu or Khasos and maybe bringing in a Skarath. So having the combination of Verk and Sophia and Skarath in here with Screg and him to shield with the survivability. So just running a lot of raw damage seems like it would be very, very powerful with this team comp because you're upping the survivability so much, especially with him once you unlock his signature item. But look at that, the whole entire team goes straight to the back row. So even with Anoki, if you're running Gwen, pushing everyone to the back row for Gwen's arrows to ignite everybody would be absolute insane damage as well. So there's going to be a lot of ways that you're going to be able to spin this new hero and where he's going to fit in, especially if you have some heroes that up the shielding ability, will be very, very cool as well. Like Gorvo, where he relies on shields too. Lucius, who has shields. It's going to be interesting to see how he works in with all of the new heroes. I'm super excited that I got to see him at 3 stars here with the signature item. Again, pushes the entire team straight to the back row. Very, very cool to see from the CC aspect of it. So we'll go ahead, we'll do the last battle here, and that'll conclude it to the Maulers. Like I said, we went through about 20, I think around 23 stages tonight, which is absolutely awesome, especially pushing into chapter 24. I'm almost done with 24, going to 25. Khasos is out there. Again, every hero is stacked right to the back line from his ultimate ability. So let me know in the comments what you think. Cannot wait to see Anoki built and actually geared out. Again, let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.